How could a young father simply vanish?
Tim has been stolen from us.
Who could possibly want him gone? And why would he be taken?
It was just a truck.
The answers will reveal the twisted world of a thrill-seeking petty crook who some believe may have just graduated to serial killer.
No question, this story is far from over.
Tim Bosma and his wife Sharlene were the picture of bliss, raising a young daughter in the quiet of the countryside. But money was tight, according to author Anne Brocklehurst, and that led Tim to sell his beloved Dodge Ram pickup.
Tim Bosma was trying to sell this black Dodge Ram truck that had become a bit of a financial burden. He wanted to buy a cheaper truck. It had been advertised online for a few weeks, hadn't gotten much interest at all. And then he gets a call from these guys who seem like serious prospective buyers.
On a Sunday evening, the two men arrive for a test drive, but they show up late and on foot. According to investigative journalist Alex Pearson, Tim had a bad feeling right from the start.
He had said right before he went out with these men, he was feeling uneasy while putting his daughter down. He was feeling uneasy about it because they were late. It was an odd time to be coming to look for a truck. It was later in the evening.
Tim asked his wife Sharlene whether he should still take the men on a test drive. The answer she gave haunts her to this day. A little after 9 o'clock, Tim kissed Sharlene goodbye and said he'd be right back. An hour later, he still wasn't home.
And she started phoning him and texting him and got no answers.
When initially we heard that Tim Bosma had gone missing, it's like any adult who goes missing, the opinions of everybody that something must have happened. Tim must have had a drug deal or something nefarious was going on.
But cops have a different feeling.
They subpoenaed Tim Bosma's phone records, so it was almost immediate. When someone is reported missing, you wait 24 hours. But the police knew, I think instinctively, this was a different kind of case because it involved online ads, two guys coming to look for a truck, and that he was supposed to be back and he wasn't.
Meanwhile, Tim's wife Sharlene makes a desperate plea aimed at the men who took her husband.
I ask, and I beg, and I plead to whomever has my husband to please let him go. Please let him come home.
She wanted her husband back, and she felt that if she could make this appeal, it would help bring him back, but it was also so that people could understand this was just a normal guy who'd gone on a test drive.
It was just a truck. It is just a truck. You don't need him, but I do.
While waiting for answers at home, Sharlene gets a heart-stopping phone call. It's from Tim's phone.
They must have thought he was alive.
Yep.
But the call is from someone who found Tim's phone while mowing the lawn in a nearby industrial area. It's a huge lead, but cops are already onto something big. Tim's phone records show that the car shoppers called on a burner phone, a seeming dead end, except when police checked the call history of the burner phone. The day before, it called another man selling a Dodge Ram pickup, an ex-Israeli soldier named Igor.
Igor Tumenenko, unlike Tim Bosma, was built like a truck. He was a big, big, big guy. He's the kind of guy that when you meet him, in your head you're saying, I'm not messing with that guy.
Igor tells police that he remembered one man had a distinctive tattoo on his forearm, the word ambition.
And it was just by coincidence he mentioned this tattoo, and they were able to go through the records of profiled and see that tattoo in the police records, and that's what led them to Dellen Millard.
Before he was a marked man, Dellen Millard was a boy wonder. Sadly, Millard's father committed suicide in 2012, right after he invested over $3 million in this new airport hangar.
And Millard was never very keen on this business idea. And within a matter of days after his father died, he canceled all the licenses, all the permits, all the certification required to work on aircrafts.
So here's Dellen Millard, who's got all the money in the world thanks to Daddy, and instead of, using what he had to make something for himself and continue this aviation dynasty that the Millard family had, he's out there partying like a rock star, doing a lot of drugs and hanging around nefarious people and stealing stuff.
Millard always surrounded himself with people who were younger than him, 4 or 5 years, and he was the leader. He paid for everything, so he gained a certain amount of control and status by bankrolling these younger friends.
One of those groupies was this man, Mark Smich, a wannabe rapper.
It's like a freestyle session with no lesson, no question. I'm killing you in possession.
Smich was going to be a rap star, and I guess Millard saw himself as maybe the producer, the manager.
Who's who? Blues Clues. Tell the cops anything, then you die on the news.
This is a guy who met his dream of all dreams, a rich guy he could do drugs with, steal cars with, hang around and play video games with. But it escalated for Mark Smich.
Millard and Smich and a group of friends went on what they called missions. And the mission was to steal things.
What was going on inside that hangar? What kind of business did he have?
There was no planes. So for an airplane hangar, this thing was not doing what it was supposed to be used for, which was storing planes and servicing planes. No, this thing was a full-blown chop shop. These guys were out stealing anything they could get their hands on. They were stealing a lot of construction equipment, bringing it in, stripping it down, selling it for parts.
5 days after Tim Bosma went missing, cops tracked Millard to a bank where he's spotted withdrawing $3 grand. Minutes later, he's arrested. They find the keys to Bosma's truck in his possession. But for now, he's only charged with unlawful detention. What police really want to know is, where's the truck? And the bigger question, where is Tim Bosma? Up next, another missing persons case points the finger at Millard.
Laura Babcock simply vanished into thin air.
And the shocking discovery of a bizarre killing machine.